Hello, everybody. Welcome to season 3 of the Cyberspace podcast. Yeah, that's right. We're back.
Hello.
Hello, Andy. We're back, baby.
Back again. Oh, we're live on Instagram now as well.
Hey, nice. Hello, Insta. Say hello. We can't see them in the chat, can we? Or we have got another way.
I can see them. Yeah, I can see them on the feed. Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome to the Q&A. Yeah, this is
Good morning, Howard.
Howard.
Morning, afternoon,
Ooh, look.
evening.
Oh,
Look at that
Rob,
nice light, Robbie.
we're on Instagram as well.
Oh shit!
Oh.
I got the hue lighting on the go.
I have one of those somewhere.
My one goes dead all the bit too quickly. I find. I think I need a better one.
Oh, I've got mine plugged in, mate.
What are you doing with battery operated ones?
Yeah, I know. There's only 2 plugs down there. There's one for the desk and one for the other light. I need an adapter, like.
Adapter. Get it. Ask for extension lead for Christmas.
Oh,
Did you sell that desk then?
Yeah, I did. Dropping it off tomorrow. AJ's Removal Desk Services, taking it. They're not actually that far away either. They live in the same town.
Car for it.
I know. I got a new car now. Wouldn't have gone in the M2. But it'll go
Oh,
in,
you got the old family wagon now, is it, boy?
Yeah, I got an X3 now. Proper old man vibes.
When's the kids coming on?
Yeah, next year I think.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Broaden your attack surface.
TBC. Yeah, it was funny. I was actually thinking that, when you have kids and they're going to start using laptops and stuff, they're going to be clicking on all kind of random stuff. I was already thinking about segregating the network.
Yeah. Well, at least Keir Starmer stopped them looking at porn for you. They'll need a photo ID. Or
they'll just get a VPN when they...
Yeah.
Fake ID.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Apparently, some of the kids have been like, you can... like certain games have really realistic character creation. If you take a picture of that, it thinks it's an adult, a real adult.
Oh yeah, I saw that. There's one particular game that people are using.
Forget the game.
But yeah, I was thinking that was quite funny. But then they probably just generated AI images of adults now, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if I mean I haven't done it and I won't do it, to be perfectly clear. But I wonder if it has to be like you have to go like something like this, right? So it's like it needs to be in a video game, where you can kind of move them around a bit.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean. That makes sense. Yeah, like when you do your verification for your bank or something.
Oh yeah, when you have to say your words into. I'm locked out of our joint account and it's my fault. And then whenever I go to verify it, they take like 5-10 minutes to like get back to me, or sometimes longer. And I'm off doing something else, and I always miss the like timeline after I've said to them like 1, 2, 7, 4, chocolate banana, whatever they want.
Yeah, I always find that quite funny actually. I wonder if with the development of like Gen AI, if they'll be able to do, because there's lots of videos of us on the internet, so they might just be able to.
Don't give anyone ideas. Howard's already running us through deep fakes right now.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't clone me, please. Are we live on Instagram?
We are live on Instagram, yeah.
How come normally the comments come through?
The Instagram comments, I don't think they're on the. I can see them on here. We haven't had any comments yet, though.
Oh, okay.
Well, does anyone have any questions for us before we go into the return of the podcast? We've had a little summer hiatus, working on our TANs rather than being in front of our computer screens. I've got glasses now, so
yeah, it's the same person. He's like Superman.
Yeah,
it's Clark Kent.
Oh, where's Josh?
Oh,
gone?
it's Josh.
Oh, he's right there.
Cyber nerd by day.
Hacker by night.
But yeah. Should we get into it? We can have a little chat amongst ourselves about what we've been up to, what we've been doing. Anyway, when we begin the pod.
Yeah, let's get into it. I think we've got less people who've joined from YouTube because we switched the channel over.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, there's a question on Instagram. It just says, "What about salaries in the USA for SOC level 2?" I don't know.
What about the animals?
What about salaries? What about them? What's the question?
What about us?
What are the salaries? Is it in the
Yeah.
US for software?
Yeah, what prices?
Did you say US or UK?
He says USA.
USA, quite high. Level 2, top of my head,
Ooh.
talking maybe 70 to 110, maybe 80 to 110. I made a PowerPoint slide of this before, didn't I?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
talking.
I think
You're
level
talking
2 might
six
be-
figures. It's got to be six
Yeah.
figures in the US.
Oh yeah, Josh, you said, yeah, you nailed it. Between 80 and 100,000.
Interesting. I googled it and it says 130,000 to 145,000.
Oh wow.
Did you L2 it?
I put SOC analyst level 2 average salary USA.
Okay, yeah. Indeed.com is saying 95,000, so maybe that one's where you go with. Gemini's having a little. Glassdoor says that's security engineer. Yeah, I can see where the issue here is.
Security engineer is going to be getting paid more, surely.
Yeah.
Is that a good salary in the US then? Because I know the tech salaries can go crazy, can't they? But then the cost of living is much higher there as well.
Yeah, cost of living. The tax is a lot less. But they do have to do it yourself,
Okay.
which I think is a bit of a nasty surprise for most.
Well, does everybody have to do their own tax in America?
Yeah, but I believe so. It doesn't get auto taxed. You at the end of your around about April, you've got to like submit your tax, or get an accountant to do it.
Shit, I didn't know that.
It's like how you go to supermarket or any shop and it's like $3, and then they charge you and it's like $3.72, and you're like, what? They just add an extra level of complexity.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, to be fair, does it?
No, I partly feel like it's a way to make you hate taxes more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get to the checkout, and then it's like another $10 on top. It's like, why don't you just include it?
Oh, every year you have to do that. Yeah, it's just they become more visible and more annoying. Occasionally I get every year. Actually, every year I get, you owe this much more, because I don't know, they can't seem to calculate it right first time. Do you guys get that as well?
Yeah, that makes sense. That does happen. We're getting quite a few questions over on Instagram, actually. This is quite a good one. Why are freshers coming out of university struggling to get a job in cybersecurity? Who wants to answer that one?
Freshers, because they didn't complete their uni degree.
Why? Maybe I'll rephrase it. Why do graduates struggle to get a job in cybersecurity?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, why don't you talk about it as a graduate who's really tried to get a job in cybersecurity? Because I think mine was a bit more of a sideways path. I didn't try initially.
Yeah, so it is much harder now. When I did business and IT, so I wonder it depends what you're actually graduating in. So if you're not graduating in cybersecurity, it can be even harder again. I did business and IT, and yeah, for me, it was leaning into my end of year project, which was doing a penetration testing report for the company that I used to work for. It was really basic. I wasn't very good. I didn't really know what I was doing, but that was kind of my home project, which is what we recommend people do now with evidence portfolios. I think what's happening now is a little bit more difficult because more people want to get into cybersecurity. And I think people think that a degree can make you stand out, but it doesn't really work that way anymore. Degrees kind of did when we graduated. It was kind of a change, something different. But now that's kind of the base standard. And then you want to try and get some certifications and do some home projects as well. It's just got a little bit more difficult, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And I think it's quite a good thing that it's got more difficult because it makes the candidates better. Not everybody comes out of university, or everybody who comes out will kind of be the same. So you want to kind of differentiate yourself. So I would say, yeah, degrees don't hold as much weight now, I think, as what they used to.
Good answer. Yeah, some people say, "Oh, they're not hiring anymore," but that's not true.
It's not true.
My security company is hiring people regularly, and including graduates. But it's not just graduates that kind of compete for the level 1 jobs. Like to your point there's so many more graduates than there used to be who do cybersecurity specific courses. 10 years ago when we started, there wasn't that many cybersecurity specific courses. It was normally 1 or 2 modules within a computer science course or something similar. But people know about cybersecurity. They want to get into it. They know it's a good industry and good career path. So more people are subscribing for it. But you're not just competing against uni grads. So you're competing against people coming out the military, because the military pay money to veterans to go and reskill into cybersecurity, and they're really attractive. People doing career switches, you get like, 30, 40, 50-year-old people sometimes switching over. And really what you want in a security team is a diverse set of workers. You don't want an army of grads, because then you've got a bunch of people who've all learned the same stuff and do the same thing really well. You want a real mixture. So yeah, I think back to your point, AJ, separating yourself out as a graduate is even more important than ever, which is kind of annoying, because you think you've paid all that money, you've done the 3 years, sometimes 4 years, you think you almost think you're entitled to that job, right? Because that's probably how it was sold to you to start with.
Yeah, and that's the thing with degrees; they never guarantee you a job. But I think there's kind of like a collective assumption that you will get a job. I guess when I went to uni, I thought I would get a job after, but even that wasn't guaranteed. There was still work that I had to do after. Like I went to get a tech job. I worked as like a IT admin for about 9 months. So again, that was something that I did in addition to my end of year dissertation as well, which was the penetration testing report. So yeah, things have got a bit more difficult, but like Josh was saying, that companies are hiring, so I wouldn't let that put you off at all. There's another question that leans into a similar question, I think. What's the best path for someone who's studying a master's in cybersecurity and want to get a job after? I mean, certificates and self-development for a beginner as well. So probably kind of answered it there already, but I would probably get your Security Plus, CompTIA Security Plus.
Do they need that if they've done a master's, AJ? I think they could skip that.
Well, it's the only reason I say to get it, or maybe you don't need to get that. Then you could just do the labs. Just get some
Plus, Cybersecurity Analyst Plus.
Yeah, maybe get that one instead, or just get
more applied.
Yeah. So the main reason that I say get some CompTIA training is just to help your CV flag up again. Again, it's just like a minimum standard. Just get something on there to say that you are working, maybe even just working towards CompTIA training. Maybe a CYSA might make more sense.
It's cheap as well, isn't it? They're not going to break the bank, those type of certs.
Yeah. You could even just do the labs. You get the hands-on labs, and then just move into decide what job you want to do. First of all, if you want to go down the cybersecurity analyst route, then learn everything related to that job, and in terms of the theory and the practical stuff, and then just be consistent with applying. But I think, Isabella, if you want to, we have a free cybersecurity community. I'm not sure if you're in there yet. School.com/cybersec, I think it is.
School with a K.
If you jump in there, School with a K, yeah. You can drop one of us a message, or you can drop me a message, and we can have a chat to see what it is you need to do. But yeah, you're on the right path. Likely the home projects, CYSA certification, or even just the home labs, and then just be consistent.
I'm pretty sure you can comment cyber on the live, and it'll send you the link in your DMs.
Nice. And Howard in the YouTube chats made a good point as well. I think it's about this question and the one before about internships. Like I remember people where we first used to work, guys who were doing their masters while working in the SOC, because they will give master students more hands-on internships or even jobs while they're studying their masters. Actually, if I remember that guy when he was doing his dissertation or mega project, he had so much help from proper cybersecurity professionals that he stormed it. So it's good in both ways.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Yeah, we've got
Just
some
try all angles.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I think, isn't it? You have to try a few different things. There's not one conventional route into cybersecurity.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get a bit lucky as well. Yeah, to be honest, that's why I say keep trying, because there is always a little bit of a coin flip at the end of the day when you've got a bunch of good candidates. So do everything you can to make the coin flip in your favor, I guess, is what we're saying.
Oh, there's who wants to put their politician hat on? Is there any solution for world peace by your live video? Oh, wow.
Could we hear from what the Donald would think about world peace?
Yeah.
It's a great question, Josh. I think we build a wall around all of the hackers. Those pesky hackers. Seen a lot of them in my time.
I'll try Keir Starmer here. Hello. I personally think we should invest in stopping boats to go kill all boats. Everybody surf.
So my mother actually was a cybersecurity
That's
analyst.
good.
I don't really know what he sounds like, to be honest. I don't,
like both of us there. Probably more like Rob.
He's a bit of a bar, isn't he? Bandy.
I like Brian Badon.
Boris Johnson here. I reckon cut off the heads of all those protoplasmic jellyfish spines. And get some nice beautiful blue passports. So we haven't.
That's actually top drawer Boris impression.
That one, can I? Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've kind of demonstrated that the world peace is hard to find, even when you're politicians. I don't know if we can do it for our Q&A.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to get it right, are they?
Yeah. Too many dickheads in the world. I know. Everyone watch our podcast, have a relax, get together, be nice to each other in the comments. Best solution I've got for you guys.
That's a good answer. This is a good question, actually. This has come up quite a lot. I don't know if you boys have heard of it. What do you think about the security virtual job experience in Forage? Have any of you boys I've only come across it because a lot of people have asked me about it, but
same.
What do you think of it?
We need to do it, I think, because I've never done it, but I've looked at it many times, and the fact that it has, the fact that it's got those big people behind it makes me think there's got to be something in it.
What's this again?
So it's called like Virtual Job Experience by Forage. I don't know if they're a training. Oh yeah, so they provide like free virtual job simulations, but when I looked into it, it's not really job simulations. You're kind of doing like a lab sort of thing, but then you get a certificate after it to say that you've kind of done the job simulation. I don't know how much weight it really holds, but like Josh said, we probably will need to do it ourselves. But I've looked into the actual content, and it sounds okay. Like you'll do like a phishing simulation, but all you're really doing is analyzing a phishing email. I wouldn't really say that you're getting virtual job experience, but I don't know. I guess that's kind of open to interpretation. But like Josh said, the names behind it are quite big. You've got like Citibank, Skyscanner, Lloyds. I think the phishing one is actually from MasterCard. So there's a few big names there, but I would probably stick at your CompTIA certifications. I think they will hold more weight, but yeah, we could definitely have a look more into it.
I think
how much is it?
They're free. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. The fact they're free means that they're a good resource. These are quite current. Some of them even like are actively hiring, and they are going to see people who complete this, and maybe. And so I think particularly if you can find an open position for one of these, going on their website and doing like, let's say the JP Morgan are hiring, go and do the JP Morgan one, have it in your cert, so that you like have looked them up, you kind of care, and it'd be a great thing to talk about in the interview. Again, is it going to win you the interview? No, I don't think so. And should you fill up your CV with just like every one of these recruiters and say you've done the job simulation like it's a real job? Not recruiters, sorry, companies. I'd say no, but I think have one line of like the completed job simulations and then list them all out in just kind of against each other, so it's not taking up your whole CV. But it's good experience, and there's some big names on there. Robbie, you do lots of interviews, right? You would ask about that? That would kind of be an interesting conversation point.
Yeah, shows that you care. Shows that you've done your work on researching what things are affiliated to that company, and anything like that. To you're begging to stand out, aren't you? So if you can do the tiniest of things to make them remember you, I think that's just another thing that hiring manager is probably going to be completing, 4 or 5 interviews in a day on a candidate run. And when he shuts his laptop and he's eating tea and his missus is saying, "Oh, how was your interviews, honey?" And then he's scranning on his jack of potato and he's like, "Yeah, there was this one guy that he really did the work." That's what you want. You want to be the person that he's talking about at the dinner table afterwards.
That's
looking at these companies as well, like I've worked with some of these in different capacities, and they're big companies who are always looking for people on the kind of conveyor belt of cybersecurity. So, and they do have really mature setups. So it kind of, there's a place for you, quite a well carved out place. So yeah, do them. Just don't just do them, I guess, is probably the takeaway here. Show some initiative elsewhere, but definitely, I'd say they're worth it. Should we set ourselves a challenge to do one each?
Yeah, let's do it. So
I kind of want to do an AI machine learning engineer one. Don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Can you share screen now, and then
have a look?
Will it come up on Instagram? If like
yeah, it's sharing. It's sharing the whole StreamYard on Instagram.
Our Instagram, they're not going to see us that way, though, are they? They're going to be like...
They're seeing us in a small... Whoa, that's a lot. Infinite Forage job simulation.
Forage.
You got to create an account, though, and I don't know if you want to show people your email.
What does that look like now when you're looking at the Instagram?
Bigger it. Zoom in, mate.
It's a bit delayed, so give it a second and we'll see.
Oh yeah, they're not going to be able to see that.
Oh, there, yeah, you could. Well, I'm seeing it on my laptop, so you can see it. It's actually not too bad. It kind of, maybe it's quite small. To be fair, it's not too bad.
Yeah, we could go live on Instagram though, and somebody could go through one or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be good. But anybody who's on Instagram, what does it look like now? Is it any good or what? This is a good question. Can you help me on how to set up a SOC setup in my home network to add as a project? Add as a project for free. That's a very good question.
Well, which website should they go to, AJ?
I think you should go to
School with a K.
Yeah, I can show you that. Maybe I'll show you that as well, or YouTube. Yeah. So if you go to school, you're better off going to school.com. I'll share my screen. I can show you. Here.
If you like the sound of AJ's voice, you're in for an absolute treat.
Yeah, it's a long video.
Hello, Mariana.
It's a 30-minute masterclass.
Hey, Mariana.
Can you see the screen now? I don't know what I've shared.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, just zoom in a little bit for us, maybe. On the
like this.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, if you come into our free community, which is school.com, cybersec, and this community called CyberHub, in here we've got all of our hands-on projects. And then you will want this one, how to set up Elastic SIEM. So this is kind of building your own SOC at home. There's now this one as well, cybersecurity AI project, which builds on top of this one. It's setting up your own SIEM at home, but there's an AI portion at the end of it. So that one's also good. And this one as well, setting up your own cloud lab. But to answer your question, this is the one you want, how to set up Elastic SIEM. And like Robbie said, if you comment live on, comment cyber on Instagram, and it'll send you a link to this community. But if it doesn't, it's also in the description on our...
And that's Instagram free page as well.
Yeah, this is all free. Drop us a message in there as well. Interested to know about what jobs you're going for, what your background is, what you're currently doing, where you're trying to get to. And we can always see if we can jump on a call and work out a plan for you as well. Because we do free strategy calls for people who are eligible as well. You can apply for them. But yeah, let us know. Stop sharing. Hey, Mariana. A long time no see. Yeah, no. I think you joined our stream last week, didn't you? We told everybody that we'd moved over to this new channel.
So like, comment, and subscribe.
Where to drop a message? Yeah, drop a message on the live. So you'll see a message underneath message box. Just post the word cyber in there, and it should send you a link.
If it doesn't, go and comment on one of our videos on the Instagram page. It definitely will.
Comment cyber on any of our reels.
And it's also on our profile as well. Just click on the link. Message cyber here to.
Shall we get into podcast before the evening is runs away from us?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, we have
Yes,
some great
sir.
questions on Instagram. Thank you, everybody who asked those. But yeah,
thanks,
let's
guys.
go.
Maybe we should do a YouTube video, each of us trying to do one of these forage courses. I just had a look at the Tartar Steel Intermediate one for.
Oh,
So I buy the tasks in the program overview, but we'll see what it's like. IRL.
You lagging.
yeah, you lagged a bit there.
Oh, lagging. My bad. I
Lag
think it's because I
City.
texted Vaughan.
Oh, you're running
Am I
off
back?
your. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
You're,
you're kind of back.
you're in
You're a
cent-
bit-
my mobile.
You're a
10
bit 320p, but
Yeah, you're not quite 1080.
Oh, well, let's let it settle, then we'll do the podcast. But yeah, it should be all good now. What's on the pod agenda? Lovely question. We have today a little bit of Citrix NetScaler. Yet another vulnerability discovered there. We're going to talk about that and why it keeps happening. We're also going to look at then some maybe more new novel threats. There's some interesting AI enabled threats out there that AJ and I were looking at. ESET have claimed the first ever like fully AI enabled ransomware is being sold out there. We'll unpick that a bit because we're not sure if it is the first one ever, and look at some of the ways AI has been used in recent threat campaigns. And if we've got time, then we'll go into a cloud-based ransomware attack done by Storm something or other. It's quite an interesting one. I thought it was a bit more better than the kind of, classic, so-and-so's had a ransomware attack, so-and-so's had a ransomware attack. This one actually has the techniques and tactics done. So I think we'll go into that one rather than tell you I think there's been so many breaches recently. I'm trying to think of the ones on top of my head. There's like the Swedish government basically got done in, and they've announced that they've got done in, but they haven't said why or how. So I thought that was a boring conversation just to say they got done in. We don't know why.
How many times can you say done in like in Swedish government?
Careful.
He's
done him in like he's been done in like.
What else? That's it.
Yeah, let's do it. My instant response brain likes the fact that we're going to go into detail about the tactics, techniques, and procedures.
Ooh la la. Well, then let me not disappoint you. Let me pull them up.
Yeah.
I might do the classic thing where I test you and go, AJ, how would you stop this when you've never seen it the first time you look at it?
And then I'm like, I can't edit it out like I can on YouTube. People are like, oh, that guy knows loads of stuff. He doesn't make any mistakes. No, it's all in the edits.
All right, okay. Where's my shit? What do you want to start with? AI stuff, or do you want to go for the classic NetScaler?
Let's go AI. That's what everybody's talking about these days, isn't it?
yeah, let's go AI.
Okay.
Do we want to cut you in like this? No.
But were we close together then? Were we?
You like? Yeah, it's a bit. Maybe not. Oh wait, this is what we do. I forgot how it's been a long time.
Oh, that looks good.
See, Poindexter, straight in my glasses.
Lost my glasses.
The lady in the shop said it brings out my hair color.
She was really trying to sell to you, wasn't she?
Oh, she really was.
Sold it well, yeah.
They gave me I found the randomest dodgy little shop, and they gave me the family discount and all this because I didn't know.
The family discount.
They had like a million design. These are Prada. They had millions of designer ones. And I was like, I just kept walking out, and they were like, "Oh no! How much will you pay? How much will you pay?" I think they had dead stock, and they needed to get rid of it, man. I go.
Where did you go? It sounds like you're down the market. Like, don't go.
I typed in seeing glasses into Google after going to Specsavers and not liking the ones there, and I had to get like buzzed in. It was like being in like a New York Jewelers.
Oh really?
No way. That's actually class.
It was bizarre.
What's the other glasses then? The ones that you don't see in?
What do you mean? My sunglasses?
You just said you Googled
seeing ones, blind ones.
I think that's
only
it.
one of those seeing glasses.
What do you call
see-through
spectacles?
I probably would have just Googled glasses, I guess.
Yeah, go to Sunglasses Hut.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome back to season 3 of the Cyberspace podcast by Empirical Training. My name's Josh. I'm your usual host and one of the 4 members of Empirical Training, and I'm joined today by AJ and Robbie.
Hello.
I would say you're
Hi.
my favorite members of Empirical Training, but you all are. I can't separate you apart. But they're joining me today, and we'll introduce them for anyone who's dialing into this season absolutely fresh. But we're going to look at some of the key topics of last week in cybersecurity, ones that we've picked out that we think are interesting and noteworthy, and also have a little bit to talk about, rather than just being some sort of, for lack of a better word, hacker porn that says so-and-so was compromised by so-and-so without giving us any real details to talk about. On the agenda today, we have PromptLock, claimed to be the first AI-powered ransomware. We're going to look into that, maybe what they mean, and debate whether we think it is the first AI-powered ransomware, or whether that ship has already sailed. We're then going to look at Storm 0501, hackers using cloud-based ransomware techniques, and kind of marking a shift from maybe the more traditional ransomware tactics of encrypt and sell back the key, and just really cementing the shift we've seen towards data exfiltration, but interestingly, really focusing on a cloud-only environment here. And finally, if we have time, we're going to go to an old school. I say old school because it feels like this always happens. A Citrix NetScaler vulnerability that came out in the last few weeks. We're still seeing boxes vulnerable, and it's been announced on the known exploited vulnerabilities list by CISA. So reason to patch, but this fire drill's happened a fair few times in the last few years. So hopefully you'll have time to get to that one. But my name's Josh. If you don't know me, I'm a cybersecurity strategist. I used to work in the SOC alongside these guys before taking a trip into being a solutions architect and doing a little bit of the dark side of product marketing. And now I'm in the security strategy side. And I've got my other experts with me who I used to sit next to in the SOC years and years ago. Robbie, say hello, give us an intro.
Evening, boys and girls. Robbie Steele, head of SOC, but I'm actually moving into a technical pre-sales role soon, which is pretty cool.
He's going into the sales, the dark side.
I am going into the dark side, yeah.
Nice.
I was going to say not long till you start that now, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be a month or so.
Nice. But former security leader, a SOC leader, and all the other jobs you've had, you're going to do pretty well there because you actually know what you're talking about, which unfortunately is still a problem in cybersecurity sales, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a problem in all sales, but yeah, especially when we were working in the security operations center and we get customers sent over to us that have been sold something that they didn't pay for.
Something that doesn't exist in some instances.
Doesn't exist, yeah.
But I mean, we can barely have enough skilled cybersecurity professionals to fill all the kind of practitioner jobs, so you can see why the selling ones maybe aren't as fully populated with cybersecurity pros. But AJ, who are you? Why should we listen to you in cybersecurity?
I work in instant response, and that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. If there's a hack, hopefully I will try to respond to it well enough that your company won't suffer. Yeah, that's my background.
Good summary.
My name's AJ. I stop hacks. Nice to meet you, AJ. So far, you've done quite well because I don't think I've seen your company, which we will not name, but I've not seen them in the news, which usually is a good sign that someone's doing their job well.
Yeah, hopefully it's not just me. To be fair, there is the other teammates that I've got. I will say, but yeah, I do like to say to people that they're like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I just say, "I stop hackers." I do like saying that. To be fair.
Sometimes you have to break it down to explain it to people, though. I've struggled with that before. Sometimes I say I was on the front lines. And that's how I describe SOC: front lines of cybersecurity, watching the hacks and then calling people up and saying, "Oh, sorry, mate, you hacked."
And then put the phone down.
No, you want to make it sound like you're this crazy cyber soldier that's, in the
cyber soldier.
Yeah, getting the weapons out, shooting back.
When I say people I work in cybersecurity, they're like, "Oh, so you work in fraud then, do you?" I was like, "I guess, but I don't. No, I just leave it there. Then it's like, there's no point going into any more detail. I don't think."
Mm-hmm. And then they ask you to fix their Microsoft license because they can't sign in for some reason. So that's why we don't talk about it too much. Right, let's get into the first topic then, gents. So, first one on the agenda: PromptLock, which is a pretty cool name. And as the name suggests, this is an AI-powered, I believe, ransomware as a service discovered by Asset. Now, they claim this is the first AI-powered ransomware, which I think we're going to debate in a moment. they claim it's the first of its kind to be powered by Gen AI, and it uses a locally accessible AI language module. So I believe it uses Llama to host a version of ChatGPT to generate malicious Lua scripts in real time, which I wish Vaughan was here, because those are actually the scripts you use to modify games and do cheating. And we all know that's how Vaughan got into cybersecurity, because he's a bit of a scumbag.
Scumbag, yeah. Go back to podcast 3 or 4, I think, is it? And yeah, you'll
one,
understand
maybe.
why.
Yeah.
Season 1, yeah.
But yeah, it looks like this doesn't do the full attack sequence or full attack life cycle. It rather seems to be focused on once you're in there, kind of the installation phases, and you want to do the ransomware actions. What makes it AI enabled? It seems to have prompts encoded within it to generate different scripts that can either that can exfiltrate data or encrypt data, or even destroy data also. So yeah, gents, what does this mark? Is this mark anything interesting? Is this business as usual for you, or does this mark a real shift in what we're seeing out there?
This is pretty cool. When we first brought up the article, I thought, like many other articles I read, that hackers were just writing the code using like an LLM tool or a local AI model. But it's not. It's more than that, isn't it? They're actually deploying a local AI model with the malware, which is pretty cool. I would say there was always going to be a wave of these AI-driven threats, and that is clearly happening now. But I think this is quite a bit of a shift where that we're seeing the local model actually running with the malware. I think that's pretty cool, to be fair. Like I said, I thought previous use from attackers has just been kind of used to kind of prompt it to generate the code, maybe generate phishing emails, for example. But yeah, I think this is kind of quite a new novel technique, I would say.
I think what it's doing as well is it's enhancing the script kiddie, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's lowering the barrier to entry for people that maybe would want to engage in these types of activities. Now, they can just get hold of this, or they can host their own LLM, create their own ransomware, find ways to get that attack vector in, that initial foothold, and then even just question the large language model on, all right, I'm here, where do I go next?
Yeah.
It's basically just a hacker coach is what it is.
You're spot on, and that's exactly what I thought. That script kiddies, like, this really does lower the barrier to entry. And when in our early days of SOC, it was the script kiddies that were kind of firing in, which meant there were loads of people doing reconnaissance and trying to get in. But after that, the script kiddies kind of, there's a bit of a barrier there that they have to be, okay, well, I'm on something. Not sure how I got here because I just ran a script. And now what do I do? And that kind of bought us quite a bit of time to get them off before they realized what they had and how to actually make use of it. And I think now we're seeing that in those kind of post-exploitation phase, there's a lot more tools, whether it's this or, as you said, Robbie, whether it's just asking a jailbroken LLM or something to give you advice on what to do next, or the fact that we have the vibe code ones are really built for this as well, because they already understand how code works and stuff. So it has really equipped attackers quite well. This one seems to be a proof of concept or demo version that was discovered by the researchers, although there have been some examples of the prompt locker on VirusTotal. So maybe it's being used in the wild, or maybe just people have also analyzed this kind of demo version to get more information on it. But the reason they think it's a demo one is because the hard-coded Bitcoin wallet is one of, let's link to Satoshi
Nakamoto.
There he is. Bitcoin fanboy over here. Who is he? Just for those who might not know,
he's the person that created Bitcoin, but
So
nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, why not though? Why is he still anonymous? AJ?
I think it goes well. They say that he's created something amazing, and then he's kind of like dipped away because you don't want it. You wanted to keep it decentralized. You don't want to have like a face. If you have like a CEO for a company, for example, there's always like a face or a head of a company, but they want Bitcoin to be decentralized. So they say that he created it and then just disappeared so that it could stay decentralized. But I don't know.
That's a whole nother podcast if we want to go down who is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, that's a different niche as well. I think we might have to switch over to the crypto niche.
But when I sent you this, because they claim this is like one of the first of its kind, and so I'm assuming this is a ransomware as a service module, maybe that is the first of its kind as a ransomware as a service. But I don't think this is the first time we've seen AI write scripts for ransomware, for malware, for anything, and kind of do it part of the attack sequences, right? That has the ability to really rapidly generate these scripts that mean it's really hard for us to detect as defenders because they're kind of different each time. It's polymorphic ransomware that makes living off the land attacks.
Yeah, well, I was
Polymorphic
thinking,
scripts, I guess.
yeah, I was thinking that we have seen people using it to write malware, but this is probably the first time that I've seen it like deploy a local LLM onto a host with the malware. I don't know if anybody else has seen that before, because then once it's deployed.
Let me stop you there. I believe
Right.
it doesn't actually deploy it locally, but it is hooked into an API that's hosted. It's hosted off the machine.
Okay, I thought
And the Llama instance it communicates with that to get the scripts, and then it does its next thing. Basically, the CNC beacon is
is where it's being hosted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was saying that it connects to a locally accessible. Maybe it's not installing it, but it's connecting to.
Yeah, that is confused. Runs a locally accessible AI language module to generate malicious Lua script. Oh yeah. Then prompt uses a freely available language model access via an API. I mean, the generate malicious is served directly to the infected device. There's a bit of a contradiction of terms there, isn't it? In the explanation.
Yeah, so it says here that the AI model runs locally on the infected host, but I don't know if it's a little difficult to understand. That's why I thought it was quite cool. But then I guess it works the same way. I guess if it's connecting to maybe a cloud LLM as well, it's just reaching out somewhere to issue the prompts and then get the responses back, I guess. But yeah, that's the kind of, I think it's the first time I've seen that, I would say. I don't know if you boys have seen the same thing.
Yeah, kind of in this neat little package with a bow on it. I'd agree. But I mean, you sent me an article straight back when I sent you this. I said, well, look at this, is cool, from Anthropic, who detailed this last month of different uses of AI that they've seen in attacks. And there was a fully automated attack sequence from kind of reconnaissance all the way up to actions on objectives. And it was a ransomware attack again. So I was like, oh yeah, this seems like even more almost. I did check, and the script wasn't Lua script. It was a different type of script that they were providing. So I don't think it's the same thing being reported on by two different people. But yeah, we've definitely seen them create polymorphic scripts and polymorphic ransomware. But I think maybe this is the first time we're seeing a piece of malware that's on the host then kind of does the prompts itself outwards. It's like they've automated the piece there, rather than you saying at your house and creating some scripts using an LLM and then deploying them on the infected host. So I guess it's just kind of removed one extra step, would be my assessment from what we can see so far. The other thing we saw in that report, AJ, something I know you're quite close to, is AI being used for to enable particularly North Korea in their posing as developers to try and get jobs in industries that then they can use their access to kind of basically compromise them and monetize that. We've seen a real increase in that, and that one, it was saying that they found in North Korean users kind of using it to pass the job interviews and stages like that, and claiming that the bottleneck that used to be training up these people in North Korea so they'd be good enough to get a job has kind of been opened up wide, because you don't even have to know enough. You just have to have 10 guys on ChatGPT or whatever to pass the interview and get the job.
Yeah, no, that is a huge issue, to be fair. I've seen it and worked for companies recently where we've had threat actors trying to actually apply for engineering roles. And like you say, the ones that I've seen have actually not made it through the interviews. But I guess if the company, I don't know, maybe if you just do the interview over the phone, for example, you're not going to really see somebody prompting the interview questions. But yeah, they definitely are using ChatGPT and things like that to learn these engineering roles much faster. But I would say, I'm not telling them to do it, but if they want to increase the chance of success, they're better off actually getting engineers who know what they're doing, because you can prompt as well as you can, but if you don't actually know the topic, I think somebody's going to find you out. Yeah,
and you're going to have to do a really good job of trying to stall the question to be able to then prompt the LLM for that to spit the output out and then give the answer.
What I almost think about when we talk about this topic is, like, because there's multiple people applying for this one role. Like cartoons where like you get a bunch of cats or mice and they try and make one big coat and a hat to like work and move. So I always
Yes.
think of that.
Yeah.
One job for one person, but like 10 people on the computer trying to do it. AJ, are you able to tell us how they didn't get past the interview cases? Like, were there any giveaways, or is that a bit too sensitive for the wide open world?
I actually don't know I haven't spoken to the team, so I don't know exactly. It was the recruitment team that actually disqualified them at the CV stage. So some people a lot of them never made it for interviews. The people that did make it for interviews, they were just a little suspicious with where, like, they said that they lived in the US or lived in Houston, and then they were asked, "Oh, do you know of any local places in Houston that you spend time in?" And there wasn't really much conversation there. It was kind of really generic. So there were like giveaways in relation to that, to be fair, rather than technical ones. They were just kind of a little bit suspicious in the interviews. I guess nerves maybe, but most of them didn't make it through the CV stage.
Interesting. Next time, please could you ask them to, when they find them, to just give them an interview anyway, just then maybe to record it. That'd be a great YouTube video. I don't know.
Oh, we did that actually. I will
Did
send
you?
it. I'll send it to you after. I can't send it
can't
to
go on
everyone else
YouTube.
because it's out there. I didn't record it. The company did it and they sent it out there. They made a huge media run of it. I'll send it to you.
That's good PR. I missed that. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
What was it? A deep fake one as well?
No, it was an actual engineer from North Korea who applied for a role, and they said, "Oh, let's have an interview with them just to see what information we can get."
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't part of the interview, but some other people in the team were. But yeah, they did a media run on it. I'll send it to you after.
That's good marketing as well. Good PR to get that out there, and good research, to be honest.
Yeah.
Everybody. Nice. Well, I mean, I think the main thing here is just that increased. I don't want to say dumbing down because I think that's fair, but like lowering the bar to access for these types of attacks, right? Like kind of Robbie said, it's the script kiddies 2.0 or 3.0 where we're seeing the LLM kiddies. I mean, you don't have to know that much to be able to actually compromise an organization to the point where you can charge them, $500,000 or upwards for their giving them their data back. So, yeah. You can see how attractive that is to somebody who's maybe struggling to get a job as well, or in certain countries, or even we had a lot of questions before this pod, didn't we, about graduates struggling to get their cybersecurity job. Maybe we can we do a better job in the industry of hiring these people so they don't turn to the dark side, because it's another way to make money. Don't do it, of course.
Don't do it.
I don't know if I was promoting that too much there as a viable option.
You're like, oh, don't worry, you can make loads of money by being a black hat hacker.
Yeah, full disclaimer, but it is
full disclaimer. Yeah, you might go to jail.
You probably will go to jail. That it's the same skills to attack and defend, and I think that's becoming more and more true because you don't need the full skills to be able to attack anybody. You need to understand how to do it and how it works. Does that make sense to you boys? What I'm saying there?
Yeah. It's easy to do now. It's harder to learn how to become a defender. If you want to become a hacker and try and break into somebody's network, then you can just ask AI.
Yeah. So that makes our job harder. So the game of cat and mouse. But hey,
that's why I think there's going to be more opportunities in defense because, well, not just that hackers are using these AI tools, but companies are implementing their own AI models, AI agents, and they're just going to, well, for a better word, cock it up. And we're going to have to be there to secure them. So if you are somebody trying to get into cybersecurity, learn how to secure these AI tools, LLM models. Look at something in the MITRE ATT&CK framework, Atlas framework. That's a really good framework for protecting these tools. But I think it's going to create more opportunities. I think jobs are going to change into like AI security engineer and things like that. There's two sides, I think.
I was reading an MIT study that kind of analyzed different Gen AI projects in businesses. And I have to Google the stat to confirm quickly, but it was either 85% or 95% of them don't make it to production. So, and that's kind of something we've already talked about before and that we kind of knew was happening, that most of them fail, most of them don't go anywhere. But to see it kind of backed up by some good academic research is always helpful. But what that tells me is that we haven't you talked about securing the AIs. Before that, we were talking about attackers using AI to be more efficient and make it more accessible to be a hacker. The other thing, the point you're making there is that we're going to have more AI things to secure that in some ways is the same way score traditional deployments, but in some ways it's new. There are new attacks, new techniques, as evidenced by MITRE Atlas and OWASP Gen AI top 10 risks is another good one to look at. But we're yet to see businesses really deploy these AI models yet. So they haven't been attacked because they don't exist out there. They've just been in dev environments, safe behind layers of offline networks internally. We've only really seen businesses use, in most cases, like a Copilot, a ChatGPT, a Gemini, to just do the same stuff we use it for in our homes, like ask it questions, help it write emails for you. We're yet to really see those full custom built AI models that are going to be huge new attack surfaces.
Yeah, the ones where I've seen a lot more. Have you heard of Cursor? Cursor AI, the engineers are using Cursor to write code for them, but then Cursor has modules, and some of these modules are getting compromised, and engineers are deploying those modules into Cursor, and then becoming compromised from that. So again, that is still kind of like your ChatGPT, but it's specifically for coding and engineering.
Yeah, the risk profiles are a bit different depending on what you use. If you're using a ChatGPT, normally you're using the one that's hosted by OpenAI, so they do a lot of the security already, and it's just how it's used that you have to worry about, which is a lot less. If you host it yourself, if it's ChatGPT or if it's even your custom one, those are different risk profiles, more responsibility. Sure. Any final thoughts here before we move on? Because we have, it's always the one we spend the most time on, the first one, but hopefully we'll get at least one more in.
No, AI is coming for our jobs and we're all going to be on the dole.
No, we're going to be wielding AI. Get those AI swords and shields, know how to use them, because the battle of AIs will be fought by humans, not by AIs, but with AI weapons. That'd be a good film, actually.
That would be a good comic book. When you start a new comic book series, you two?
Well,
yeah, that would probably be one of the first ones that we could do.
Yeah, my big nerd mate lent me some of these, what are these called, mangas, or something like that, comic book books. So,
I was talking to somebody about those the other day. It's kind of like Japanese, what's it called, anime, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a Korean one, but Solo Leveling it's called. Apparently, it's really good. He's more nerdy than I am, and he often gives me these things. And sometimes I love it, and sometimes I don't. But I'm yet to give it a go. I'll let you know. But yeah, outing myself as a potential on the way to becoming a major anime nerd.
Yeah, Mariana knows what it is.
Manhwa.
That's it. Yeah, they're the books that inspire anime. That's what somebody told me last week, actually.
Excellent. Well, moving swiftly on before we lose our cybersecurity focused audience, as if they don't like anime, it may also. Yeah. So I want to do this one quite quickly, but this is what I saw in the news that made me have a little think and really dive into the kind of attack flow or the attack tree. A threat actor named Storm 0501 shift their ransomware tactics in the cloud. Now, the main shift, I think, is something that we've all already seen as a big trend in the last few years, that ransomware is no longer encrypt your drives and then offer to give you the decryption key or you pay the money. It's much more centered around stealing the data, because you can rebuild your environment, and particularly in cloud, that's really easy, right? If you got a cloud environment, just delete it and then reinstall from another golden image. At worst, you're probably losing a little bit, but it's really easy to restore. You also get disaster recovery as a service and all these other things that have made us a lot more resilient for encryption attacks. But data, if you steal that data, even if you can copy it back in, it's still out there. You can't get it back, and it can still be used against you. So that's why they then extort you, saying, we'll sell it on the dark web, we'll tell your compliance person, or we'll start socially engineering all your customers using this information pretending to be you. That's big damage, monetarily, fines, also just reputation damage too. So that seems to be where ransomware has gone, and which makes now cloud environments pretty primed to be attacked, because they have lots of data and sometimes really accessible data. Rob, when we used to sit next together in the SOC, there used to be those S3 buckets made publicly, was probably the easiest thing we ever had to analyze, but also one of the most potentially devastating attacks, right? Like, you want to give us a little information about like cloud data stores, or a little overview if you can?
Well, what an S3 bucket is?
Yeah, just general cloud data stores, like how obviously super accessible, but there's a lot of data up there in the cloud.
Yeah, I guess an S3 bucket is basically just storage, but in the cloud, and then it's super accessible, and you can basically put anything inside of it, and then that's in AWS, but then in Azure it serves the same
blobs.
function, but it's just called blob storage, so same function, just has a different name, basically,
like a hard
and
drive
then,
in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
basically that's what it is.
Or even worse, a hard drive that's connected to the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So go on.
I was going to say so they've moved from, instead of encrypting on-premise systems, they're going on and targeting like cloud environments now, is it? Rather than their like ransomware operations being hosted, like the attack infrastructure being hosted in the cloud, they're instead targeting cloud operations. Is that it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by infrastructure hosted in the cloud, but this was really interesting. This started on premise, and then they were like, all the data is actually in the cloud, and they pivoted from premise. They managed to get initial access and escalated privileges on premise in there. So this is like a real hybrid environment, hybrid security lesson for hybrid environments. And they found an account with high privileges, a global administrator account that didn't have MFA. Classic. And using that, they were able to then get onto like Microsoft Entra, the Azure AD, the digital AD, which pretty much everyone uses now. Like, not many people use the on-premise ADs because it's so much easier to manage a cloud one when everyone's working from home anyway. And that got them into the cloud. And then they actually traversed back into on-premise ones because they said it was the Microsoft Entra AD, but they went back on-prems to find identity and device to find some more credentials that allow them to access the cloud then, and they got onto the Azure portal as the global admin account, as I kind of said. From on-premise to cloud, back to on-premise, and then into the cloud, and from there they set up privileged assistance. Fortunately, doesn't go into the exact details, AJ. I know you wanted the TTPs. I can only give the TTs.
I wanted that instant response cyber kill chain. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
you can't always get that. It's close, yeah.
It's better than what we often get. Microsoft did it as well. And they found the data, exfiltrated the data, deleted it or encrypted it, so basically made it useless for them, and then extorted them right back. I mean, it's the same story told 1,000 times with a slight different twist, I guess. Ransomware's ransomware, but we're still going to be talking about it for years and years to come.
Yeah. Did they say how they're managing to deploy it to? Oh, you said they had compromised credentials. Was it? That's how they got in.
That was the initial. It doesn't know what the initial access onto the on-premise was. I don't know, but it was the credentials that got them into the cloud environment where all the data was.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's always going to be trying to grab identities, isn't it? And then once you've got that identity, they have to figure out, right, where we land in here. Am I getting access to somewhere on premise, or am I getting access to a cloud resource? And then once I go from there, where else can I go in the network?
Yeah, and I think it just kind of shows that this, it used to be about segmenting your environments to stop those mass encryption attacks. Now it's all about data. We're kind of going back to info security, aren't we? Information used to be called InfoSec back in the day before us. I almost feel like it's going back to InfoSec because how important data is. It's the main thing people go after. We have more data than ever. The amount of data, there's more data than right now than has ever existed at any point in time, and that's no surprise. And AIs, the way they use data as well. Data is so valuable. Just remember that. If you're logging onto a website and you're accepting cookies and you're getting something that you're without paying for it, you're usually paying with your data. So that should just be an example of how valuable data is, that people do work for you for free, essentially. So you give them a bit of their data.
Yeah, nothing is free. There's no free lunch in this life, especially no free cookies either.
Yeah, what was that company that we worked with, AJ, where they were providing temporary details, that like personal details that you could put in to like websites or whatever? That was a really cool company.
I think it was
it Cloaked?
Oh, Cloaked. Cloaked. That's the one. Yeah, they were good actually. You could create not like fake,
like a temporary identity.
Temporary identities. Yeah.
Well, don't give that data unless you need to. Use Cloaked. Sometimes I just make some up if I don't think they really need it.
Cloaked, if you're listening, you had that for free.
Yeah, and if you want to sponsor
Yeah.
us, hit us up. We'll be in the business.
Again.
But yeah, the classic ransomware tactics, leaving us to tie this one off. Like Microsoft, I always think Microsoft is so funny when they talk about breaches because they always want to sell their own products. And so they talked about this being, they exploited a gap in a Defender deployment. Now, I have no data to say whether that's true or not, but I love how they always make sure they're not to blame. Big companies often do this. They always slopey shoulder it. But another thing to congratulate them with, they are making MFA mandatory now as of October for every cloud identity, cloud human identity. Service accounts don't need MFA, but go if you are a cloud engineer or you work in companies cloud environments, go and check on that, make sure they're ready for that, and make sure none of your machine accounts or service accounts are actual human accounts, or they're going to get MFA'd and not be able to access anything. So yeah, MFA saves the day. Any final thoughts, gents?
I was thinking, do you know where they said the gap in the Microsoft Defender deployment? Are they just saying that it wasn't deployed in the right places? Or I wonder if that is that maybe the signatures or the behavioral engine behind it missed the malware. It's probably the first one in it.
I think they're definitely implying that they could have stopped it had they had it deployed properly, but probably a visibility gap.
Yeah. No, that's all from me though. That's a good story though. And yeah, moving. And if people are looking to go into cloud security, go and have a look at a company called Wiz. They're very big in the security space, and yeah, it's a tool that a lot of companies are using now.
They got bought by Google not too long ago as well, so I think they're
they did, yeah.
They're dominant. They are definitely one of the top cloud security dogs. So that's probably going to get bigger if Google don't mismanage them completely. But I think it'd be hard to ruin that head start they've got. We were going to do the Citrix ADC exploit that's been causing some havoc, or so NetScaler exploit, sorry, that's been causing some havoc recently. Unfortunately, we didn't get any time, but for those of you who want the kind of TLDR, it's another remote code execution. I think it's about the third one, might be more in the last 2 years. So same old story, same old thing. People still don't seem to be patching, though. Over 13,000 NetScaler appliances still remain unpatched. You thought they'd have learned their lesson last few times. So yeah, happy hunting, guys, because there's going to be a lot of exploits coming from those still for the next few weeks, I would say, if not months.
Yeah. Damn. Thanks, everyone.
Damn.
Damn, son.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the Citrix vulnerability.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All these RCEs everywhere.
Great. Well, thank you very much to the chat as well. I don't know if I called you out at the beginning, but we do always love your comments. And actually, shout out to one of the members today explaining all of the terms when we use the jargon and acronyms. That's a nice of you to make sure everyone's pulled along. If you want to hear more of us, this is the first episode of season 3. We're back from the summer holidays. We'll be keeping doing this as regularly as we can, weekly. You can find us in the Empirical Training YouTube account to subscribe to this, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Or if you want more than that, once a week isn't enough. AG does some videos over on Andrew Jones Cyber, and we have a school community as we www.school.com/cybersec, and you can find us all week, all day. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, AJ. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks very much.
Take care, boys.
See ya.
Thanks, chat.